So let's pause for just a moment and kind of move away from using functions. I want to show something off here because it's a pretty common question that I get at this point within this Excel training. If you take a look at our spreadsheet, it's looking pretty good. We got a nice little spreadsheet there. We got some row labels with bills. We got some column headers up there, months and totals and percent. We got a nice row total there for each of our months. And we got some additional calculations here for min, max, average, and a count. I haven't completed my count yet. I'll do that in a moment. Now, if we look closely at some of these formulas, some of them have a little green triangle in the corner. See all those there? Now, what's that all about? This is a pretty common question that I get people asking. Well, what's happening here? If I click into one of those cells, I'm going to get a little box. It's a little diamond with an exclamation mark in there. And it looks like something's wrong, right? So you can look at that and be like, well, what's wrong? I mean, 1675, that sounds right. 1,000 plus 125 plus 150 plus 300 plus 100, that's 1675, right? Well, if I click that little box, this tells me that the formula omits adjacent cells. And I have the option to update the formula to include the cells, get help on the error, I can ignore it, and I got a few other options in there as well. Well, Excel is always trying to be helpful. It's a very smart application, but it doesn't have a lot of context built into it. It just sees numbers or text. It doesn't know that, oh, these numbers are bills, these values are text values for labels, these numbers are dates, they're different from currency amounts. It doesn't have that context. It just sees numbers and text. So here, we're using the sum function to sum up cells B4 to B8. That's great. That's what we want. But Excel, it sees the date up here at the top and it says, wait. That's a number too. We should be including that inside of this formula. So again, it's Excel trying to be helpful. If I go back out and I hit the little box and I say, okay, go ahead and update the formula. Whoa, what's that? 45,141? That's definitely not it. If I double click on that, B3 to B8. So now it's including that date cell. So again, I don't want that. Let's undo that, Control Z. So all I'm going to do here is say ignore the error. Or I could do this. I could select all these cells, go to the little diamond and say ignore the error. Gone. No longer there. I need to do the same here. This one, it wants me to include the total as well and maybe the date as well. So I don't want that. I'm going to go ahead and highlight all those cells and I'll say ignore. Let's get rid of those little arrows. We don't need somebody to look at it and thinking, oh, there's something wrong with this worksheet. We've got all these errors all over the place. Well, they're not errors. It's just Excel trying to be helpful. Sometimes it's right? Oh, you missed a cell. Okay, great. I got to go back in and fix that. But in this case, we can ignore it. We don't need it. It's not helping us in any way. It's just Excel trying to be helpful and point us in the right direction. So go through, clean that up. If you're getting those little triangles, clean up those errors. Make sure Excel understands what we're trying to do here, and it's not looking at those dates anymore or the totals for us. Let's get that cleaned up. Then let's jump back into some more functions.